Hi there. Today we will discuss blockchain basics and cryptography. What is blockchain? We saw this picture before and we understand now that blockchain is a ledger that can record amount of data, and this amount of data is public and secure with hash, transparent, cannot be changed, cannot be altered, cannot be deleted. This is the features of blockchain and it's publicly transparent to everyone. Let's deep in why we are using blockchain in the beginning. So who will be interested to continue with us this course? Who want to work in smart contracts? Who is working in DeFi? Who is working in supply chain? Who is working in recording data? And who is interested in the future money or the cryptocurrency, which we will deep in after we understand the definition of blockchain. We will use Bitcoin only to illustrate the idea about blockchain and how we will use it, but it's only example. We have a lot of hundreds and thousands of cryptocurrencies and the projects that happened on blockchain currently, and it has more developed than Bitcoin, and we will discuss this later. So this is some of the technical features of Bitcoin, and we will discuss one by one in this session. Timestamped append only log. What is exactly that mean? Timestamped, we understand it earlier that each block is timestamped. Okay. Append only log, that this log cannot be altered or deleted after it's done, after it's mined. After mining the block, we cannot change any data or cannot delete it. So all the data will be with us forever. As we see here, we have block headers, hash, timestamp, nonce, hash of block data transaction list. This is each block have this information. What is block header? Is the summarize of the block data, what is content of the block, and we are linking it with the next block. What is hash previous block header? Hash previous block header, that we are taking hash block header of block 1 and we hash it. Then we are putting this as a record in block 2, so we know exact location of block 2 in the blocks. Nonce is simply is a number we are using once. This number we are using for proof of work. When we are talking about proof of work, we will know it. Each project or each coin or each specific currency we are using have a specific way of proof of work. So we are using this in the proof of work. Hash of block data. We are talking about hash. What is hash exactly? Hash is a way of encrypting data that no one understand what is this data. Okay? Not only encrypting data, we can also compress the data. It takes a huge amount of data or any kind of or any size of data and put it and shrink it this data into a specific algorithm and only giving me a specific type of data. As you see here, I see in the end of the page, you see here AMR, okay, AMR. I make it with 2 types of hashes and it gives me this amount of data. If I write AMR or write all my story life, it will give me this amount of data. It's not about 3 or 4 or hundreds or terabytes I'm putting. It's giving me only this amount of bytes which I can shrink, and this give me a huge space when I'm using data. So hash functions have properties. These properties that this is one-way encryption, that no one can take this encryption and reverse it and tell me this is Amr. How we can make it? There is some types. There is a brute force, or there is some kind of verification we will use it to know this is Amr. But there is no reverse for it. It's only verification. This is the data in this hash. So it's one way, fixed size output. So as we mentioned, it's fixed size. Collision resistance. Each type of hashes have collision resistance that we will not find two hashes typically. Any small change in the input will change dramatically the output. So you will not find two hashes typical to each other. So we can use these types of hashes in a lot of usage in our life. We are using in Wi-Fi passwords, we are using in email passwords, we are using in a lot of things. In your login, in Facebook, everything you are using through the internet, it's encrypted by some kind of hashes. And we can only verify it. We cannot detect, or we cannot reverse this hash.
Miracle tree
or hash tree. Hash tree, this contains a lot of nodes or a lot of branches. These branches having hashes. These hashes contains in the end block datas, and this data is labeled. And the first one use Miracle tree is Satoshi Nakamoto in Bitcoin, and this Miracle tree can take or transfer amount of hashes or amount of data. This amount of data is labeled, and we can transfer it without damaging what is inside. Also, it cannot be changed or altered through this transfer, so it will be safely transferred. So what is the current Bitcoin blockchain size? The current Bitcoin blockchain size in April 2025, it was 649 approximately, and you can download it. You can download the full blockchain. It's transparent to everyone through internet. It's easy to find. And this is some data about Bitcoin project. The block time, which is approximately 10 minutes, and this is changing around the projects. For example, you will find it's 17 or around 17 seconds, 15 seconds, something like this in Ethereum, 400 milliseconds in Solana. Hadera have different, it's instantly. This is the amount of time you need to mine a block in a project. This is a block count, block size. What we need from this data, actually it will help who is trying to mine or profit from Bitcoin mining. So what is exactly we need from this data? We need, for example, Bitcoin count. We have only 21 million Bitcoin. This is it's finite limit. We don't have again Bitcoin. What is mined until now in 2025 is approximately 20 million. So we have remaining 1 million Bitcoin for mining. This is will take, as mentioned in some websites, it will finish around 100 years or something like this. So this is the mining, and that depends on the halving happened each 4 years. This is the Bitcoin, and this is exactly some data about it. Asymmetric cryptography and digital signature. What is that exactly? When you are making any encryption, you have public key and private key, which both are working together, okay, to understand what is encrypted. So for example, I can say to any of my friends, I will write this message with this kind. When you are getting a message from me, change this letter to this number, change this number to this letter. So he will understand when he getting this message, it's from me, and he will change it. It's type of encryption. No one will understand it until I give him what is my public key. He can understand what is exactly mentioned. This is the idea of asymmetric. We have two keys. It's asymmetric, not symmetric. Okay, we have two keys and both need to be working. So I am giving my public key to the other guy, okay, to understand my message. Why we need it here, and what is digital signature? We need it when we are using in headers. The next header will take, as we mentioned before, the hash from the last header, the previous header, and also will take my, or block 1 will give the digital signature and will give the public key to the next block, so he can understand this data is from block 1. This is the idea why we are using, and this is very summarized. It has a lot of complication, and we will go through it in the next sessions also. Lastly, Bitcoin addresses. What is Bitcoin addresses? When we are making our private key in my wallet, I have my private key. As you see here, this is my private key in the top. After that, I am taking this private key in a way which called elliptical curve digital signature algorithm. We are taking my private key, make this algorithm, make my public key. Do I use it? No, I am not using. I am taking this public key and make 2 hashes for more secure, and to take this amount of size. Do you see how much is the size of the public key? This is amount of data. No, we don't need all of this. We will shrink it through SHA 256. This is type of hashing. Then we will take another encryption for more security. Then we will take it after that and put some amount of data after it, and we will make encryption for it. Then we will take all of them and make base 58. This is all amount of hashing. Then we will take the address. This address which we can use, this is my Bitcoin address, which I can give to anyone to send for me Bitcoin. Okay, this is for receiving Bitcoin. I am using my private key, then I'm using algorithm to get public key, then I'm hashing 2 times and adding some hash data in the end, then take it, hash it again. Then this is my last public shareable address I can share with people. Can I share the public key? Yes, I can, no problem, but it's for verification, not shareable a lot. It's shareable, but we are not sharing, we are used only for verification. It's like your mailbox. That's it. You have a building, okay, your address is the label you are put in your mailbox, your private key which is opening. That's it. You can say your public key, you can say it's more security for you. We can say like this. It's imagination for the situation, but you are only use the Bitcoin address which is hashed in the end. This is you can share to anyone, and anyone can send to you or you can receive Bitcoin on it. This is the end of this session. We will continue again next session the remaining Bitcoin features. If you like this content, please share and like. If you have any comment, please let me know in the comments downside or DM me in the social media. Thank you very much.